This is one of the easiest and best recipes for an apple cobbler made with Crescent Rolls.
Years ago, when I was a young wife, they came out with a great recipe, which was slicing your apples up, wrapping it in crescent rolls, and then cooking it in a concoction of sugar and cinnamon and orange juice. And I mean, it tasted great. But the problem was the apples remained hard. You had to eat it with a knife and fork. And I certainly don't want to eat my dessert with a knife and fork. So I thought, how about if I make a cobbler out of it? And the secret to a cobbler where you don't have hard apples is you've got to cook it. So I'm starting with my saucepan, and I've got 8 cups of chopped apples. Now you don't want to chop them down too small because they do shrink as you cook them. So there is 8 cups, and I've got my cup of orange juice and my cup of sugar. Now to this I'm adding, because the sauce, even though it was really yummy, it was really pretty thin. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of flour. Now you could add cinnamon, but in this case I am using pumpkin pie spice, which is pretty close to apple pie spice. So, and then I'm going to add some butter. Now I'm adding a half a stick of butter, but you could certainly add a whole stick if you wanted to. And I'm just going to cook this down until the apples are really nice and tender. Okay, I simmered these apples for about 30 minutes. Now it really is going to depend on the apples, how firm do you like them. So I have a 9 by 9 pan. I'm going to pour this in. Now I wrote out my crescent rolls, and I'm just going to put them across like that. And depending on your size of pan, you might have really too many crescent rolls for the size of the pan. But I'll just go ahead and put these on the edges. Okay. And of course, what makes a perfect cobbler is you want to spread it with a little more butter and then top it with either some cinnamon, some sugar, and some pumpkin pie spice. And that's really just kind of a matter of how crunchy you like the top, about how much sugar you want to put on there. Okay, now I'm ready to put this in another pan because I don't want to spill it, getting it out of the oven. And I'm going to bake this for 12 to 15 minutes. Look how yummy that looks. I can't wait for this to cool off and taste it because I know it is going to taste great.
And of course, this recipe would work just great using a regular pie crust. Thank you so much for joining me today at Homemade Cooking in Texas. These are my favorite recipes, and I hope they will become yours. Now, if you enjoy these recipes, please like and subscribe so you can see more of these type recipes. We have been making a full-time living here on our organic farm since 1991. We need your support to continue our small family farm by liking and subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much.